This time we are going to solve quadratic equations in three different ways. First is factoring, second is by completing the square, and lastly by using quadratic formula. This time is x quantity, x plus 9 is equal to 22. But before we can solve, we must write this equation into its standard form. So let's start. X quantity x plus 9 is equal to 22. First step is for us to use distributive property. X times x is x squared. X times positive 9 is positive 9x is equal to 22. Then we will need to have the right hand side of the equation equal to 0. We are going to use addition property of equality, or we get the inverse of positive 22, that is negative 22 should be added on both sides of the equation, and then we write. So 22 minus 22 is 0. Then we have x squared plus 9x minus 22 is equal to 0. This is now our standard form of the quadratic equation. From here, we can now solve and find the solutions of this equation. So first, we are going to use factoring. Okay, so find the factors of the third term, which is negative 22. What are the factors of negative 22? So we can have negative 11 times positive 2, or positive 11 times 2, negative 2. Then we get the sum of the two factors. Negative 11 plus 2 is negative 9. 11 plus negative 2 is positive 9. Now, let us check the second term of our equation. So, the second term of our equation is positive 9. Therefore, we will use positive 11 and negative 2 as factors of this given equation. So, let us write it as factors. X and x, then we'll have positive 11 and negative 2 is equal to 0. Here is now the factors of the given quadratic equation. Then we will solve. X plus 11 is equal to 0 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. Then solve for the value of x. So this is minus 11 on both sides. So this is x is equal to negative 11. On the other side, we have to add 2 on both sides of the equation. This time, x is equal to positive 2. Now, we have two roots of the equation, or two solutions of the equation, which are negative 11 and positive 2. That is for factoring. In completing the square, let us remember that the variables should be on the left side, and the constant should be on the right side of the equation. So, from the standard form of the equation, we will now rewrite it as x squared plus 9x, and we will transfer that negative to the other side of the equation and put space to make that left hand side a perfect square trinomial. Positive 22. Negative goes to the other side, becomes positive. So now let's have the third term. So how do we get the third term of this trinomial? So first we get the numerical coefficient of the second term, which is 9, and then divide it by 2. Since this is not an exact value, let's just solve as it is. Then we square this. So 9 squared is equal to 81 over 2 squared is equal to 4. Then we write 81 over 4 on both sides of the equation. Remember to make your solution on a given equations always balance. Rewrite this trinomial into a square of binomial. So how do we do that? We get the square root of the first term. That will be x squared is equal to x. The square root of 81 over 4 is, okay, very good, 9. The square root of 81 is 9. The square root of 4 is 2. Quantity squared. And then is equal to the sum of these two. So, as we see, to combine this, we use the LCD, which is 4, divided by the denominator of 22, which is invisible 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4 times 22 is, very good, 88. Plus 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 81 is 81. Now let's add these two. 88 plus 81 is 169. Very good. Over 4. We can now proceed on solving. Since this is a square of binomial, we can now use extracting the roots. Use square root on both sides of the equation. So this will be x plus 9 halves is equal to the square root of 169. Correct. 13 and the square root of 4, 2. Remember, there are two roots of a radical. We have x plus 9 halves is equal to positive 13 over 2, and the other one is, this is the first, and let's have the second one. X plus 9 halves is equal to negative 13 halves. Okay, then let's continue solving. This is minus 9 halves on both sides of the equation. So this is x is equal to, this is 13 halves minus 9 halves. 13 minus 9 is equal to 4 over 2. The answer is 2. Okay, and here we have minus 9 halves on both sides. So x is equal to negative 13 over 2 and negative 9 over 2, which will be combined. Negative 13 halves and negative 9 halves is equal to negative 22 halves, or is equal to negative 11. Okay, as you see, the roots are positive 2 and negative 11, which is the same as what we found a while ago using factoring. We have the same answer. 2x negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This is the one that we're going to use to be able to find the solutions of the equation x squared plus 9x minus 22 is equal to 0. First, we need to identify the values of a, b, and c. So from that equation, the value of a is, okay, 1. B is positive 9 and c is negative 22. And then let's just substitute these values to our equation. So that would be x is equal to negative the value of 9 plus and minus the square root of the value of b, positive 9, squared minus 4, the value of a, 1, and the value of c, which is negative 22, over 2 times the value of a, 1. And then we evaluate the given equation. So we have negative 9 plus and minus. What is 9 squared? Okay, that would be 81. Negative times positive is negative, times another negative would be positive. So we'll have here positive. 4 times 1, 4 times 22. Great. 88. Over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, let's continue. Combine 81 and 88. So the answer is very good. So that would be the square root of 169 over 2. Okay, so let's continue on this side. X is equal to negative 9. What's the square root of 169? Very good. So that would be 13 over 2. So let us separate this into 2, where we have x is equal to negative 9 plus 13 over 2. And the other side is x is equal to negative 9 minus 13 over 2. So this is negative 9 plus 13. 4 over 2 is equal to, very good, positive 2. So this is now our first solution. On the other side, we have negative 9 plus negative 13 is negative 22 over 2. So the answer is great, negative 11. Okay, as you see, the solutions or the roots of this equation, positive 2 and negative 11, is the same whatever way we use. Okay, we have used factoring, completing the square, and quadratic formula. Okay, 3 ways, as you see, will have the same solutions. That's it.